Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show, which we have affectionately named Astral Journeys now. And that will encompass a lot of different things, not just wars between different planets and groups of people. So we're happy to have you here, and I'm here with Diana Bowles, oil painter, and I'm here with Diane G, Kumo observer, and our white dragon, Paul, and I am Aley from Heart and Soul Connected. And thank you all for spending some of your time today with us.
I'm
Um,
the troublemaker.
yeah. I do want everyone to know that this will be our last show this year, unless something like dramatically happens that's off the charts. And then, of course, we always would get together in some way to come back together. But both Diana and I have surgeries scheduled for next month and rehab and all that stuff. So we will pick this show back up in January. And know that we are here for you. And in the meantime, if you can think of things that you want to know more about that we can start our new year off with, let us know. So, so, um, so today we have a couple of topics, and then we're going to turn over the questions to you guys because we know you may have a lot of them, and you would like to have them answered or at least discussed. And so we're going to start out with Aldebaran. Is that how you say it? Aldebaran? Okay.
Aldebaran or Aldebaran. Some people do say Aldebaran, but for the most part, it's called Aldebaran.
All right. So we're going to start out with that. And I'm going to put the picture up and let Diane G tell us what it is and where we're going to go from there.
Yeah, so Aldebaran is a star that we know of as the brightest star in the Taurus constellation. It's a red star, and it's also called the Eye of the Bull because it's located around the eye area of the Taurus constellation. So, what's special about Aldebaran? Recently, Diana and I have been doing Akashic Records readings or Galactic Akashic Records readings, and this has come up plenty of times, which is surprising. The history behind this star system is that many people don't know that there were beings who were kind of exiled from their own universe. And those beings are the Draconians. They got exiled from their universe because they wreaked havoc there, so they got kicked out. Yes, Aldebaran. Unfortunately, when they got kicked out, there were beings who weren't supposed to get kicked out, who were kicked out. And they were called the Dal people, D-A-L, Dal people. And these people wandered around our universe, our Milky Way galaxy, for a very long time until they settled into Aldebaran. And there, they accepted other people as well who were Lyran refugees because they resonated with their struggles of not having a safe space or a safe home to really live. And so they settled both in Aldebaran. And this is some of the images that I keep seeing when I connect and see Aldebaran in my visions. So I see like egg-shaped or igloo-shaped buildings and houses that are kind of white. But whenever the sun or some light shines through, they turn opalescent. And there are a lot of beings on Earth who are Aldebaran starseeds or the Dal starseeds or their offsprings. We call the offsprings of the Aldebarans or the Dal people and the Lyran people hybrids, the Aryans. So some of you have heard of the Aryans before. So the beings are called Aryans, those beings who are living in Aldebaran. So yeah, there are many Aryan starseeds who are on Earth. I've done a reading for a couple of them, and most of them don't really resonate with the starseeds where, the common starseeds that we see, who are the Pleiadians, the Syrians, the Lyrans. They don't resonate a lot with that, and that's because they're not from here. They're not from this galaxy at all. They come from a different galaxy, which is the same as the Draconians galaxy initially. So yeah, if you don't feel like you belong here on Earth, and to a different extent, and perhaps maybe you had a life in as an Aryan or in Aldebaran. And what's interesting about this, I showed this photo backstage to my co-panelists, Paul, Ali, Diana. And when when Paul saw the ship, I asked him if he's familiar with the ship. It's cigar shaped, and he said that this was a ship that was common in Draconians before, right, Paul?
Yeah, well, reptilians.
Oh yeah, reptilians. Okay, reptilians. So that fascinated me because from what I know, there were people who come from the same galaxy as the Draconians, which were reptilians. So there is like an underlying connection between the ship and where they come from. So it has been very interesting.
Yeah, I would like to say one more thing about how we all know that the Draconians came from a different galaxy,
Mhm.
and the thought is that they got kicked out of there, but really they got kicked out, and they were also running for their
Yes.
lives. And I'm not going to say from what, but they have found somebody who was even tougher than they were. And it's not here. It's not in this galaxy, and
Mhm.
we don't have to worry about it for a while.
Yeah. What's tough about them is that they can't go back to their galaxy.
No,
They,
they're right now. They all left, and they took others with them that were voluntarily. They said that they were not going to take them. They were going to take them regardless of whether they wanted to go or not. Well, the ones that went were voluntary. I don't know if it's the ones you're talking about, Diane, is they came voluntarily, or I don't know what that story is like.
yeah.
But
For them, they didn't come voluntarily.
Michael said that he took care of the ones that were leaving. I don't know what he did with them. He didn't tell me.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's all I can say about that.
From what I know, the Dal people didn't come here voluntarily, which is tough for them. Part of their mission or their sole purpose whenever they incarnate is really to find a way to bridge the gap between Milky Way and the galaxy where they came from. And I have a suspicion it's in the Andromeda galaxy because I don't remember where I heard this from, but I think the Andromeda galaxy and the Milky Way galaxy are supposed to like fuse together in millions of years in the future. So I think, at least in my opinion, it's where they possibly came from because at some point they're going to join together again. Donna is asking, is that the shape of the three-eye atlas? You mean the cigar shape? No, that was the ship that is pretty common in Aldebaran that I see in my visions.
No, I think the three eye atlas is more like an egg shape, right, Diana?
Mhm.
Yeah, it kind of changes shape. It's egg shaped, but it's also had moments where it's been tic tac shape, and it's also it has all of these rays coming off of it as well. So all of those rocks and everything that they're showing, I refer to them as the barnacles on the whale, because those gases and the plasma that nobody's talking about except for one guy, Stefan Burns, those are important things to know. And they're not actually melting, they're maybe breaking away, as an old barnacle just might break off because it's gotten too big on the whale. But when you just see it in space without all of its rotations, etc., it's just like a giant pickle, with little things sticking out all over it. A cucumber has that to
Right.
it. So, and through my experience of having been on it, I know that there is plant life on it. And I know that I have encountered beings on it.
I don't know if she froze. I think she must have frozen.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
it's
so.
here.
Yeah. Now we can hear you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, where
Um,
did you lose me?
Mostly you
The
were
pickle.
talking about the pickle. Yeah.
Yeah, and that there's plant life on it, and that I have
Mhm.
seen beings on it. I don't know that they resided on it. In the dream that I shared earlier, where the four of us, not this group of four, but the Dream Four, when we were on that, there was a Nordic a tall Nordic who was our server and treated us to dinner. And that message was that fermented foods are the way to help us with our ascension, with our healing, because fermented foods contain probiotics. And that is what the human nature of us needs, even though most of us here are one or the other. No, we're hybrids.
Yeah, hybrid. Yeah. That's why pickles and olives have been on my plate ever since.
Good job.
Always.
And drink the juice. The brine is just as important, because that's what pickles the food.
Yep. So yesterday, I heard the International Space Station took a picture of fleets and fleets of UFOs. And Gary for Grace says, how many ships are around the Earth?
Thousands.
A lot.
No, millions. It's more.
A lot.
It's a few million. And they're all stealth. They're all stealth. You can't really see them.
So they all have cloaking devices, like in Star Trek, right?
Yeah, when they come close to us, when they are close enough for us to be seen, you see those flat bottom bottom clouds, and everything else is fluffy, but they all look the same. And there's 3 or 4 in a row that look so much alike. That's not a trick of nature.
Yeah.
That's a cloaking device.
That's a cloaking device.
And they're huge ships.
So Peace Please says, White Dragon, they told me I have a protective suit of armor and weapon like a laser gun. A1 Atlas spy put an implant in me. And Archangel Metatron Raphael along with Gabriella. She wants me to call her that. Comment at all, or?
The Atlas people put an implant on her. Is that what that means? Could you?
I think so. Yes.
You put that up again. I want to read it. The last part.
All right, if I can find it. All right, hang on.
3i Atlas spy put an implant on me. Okay, Metatron. Yeah. What I mean, they try some funny stuff with me too. And I called them Metatron and Michael, and they took them off, whatever it was, and it wasn't nice. So that's when I got really nasty with them. But anyways, that's another story. So the thing is that anytime you have problems like that, Metatron, especially Metatron, I always get it wrong. He's probably laughing. And Michael, I always get him. And then, after they do whatever it is that they do, I call Raphael and he finishes patching it all up, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So that's what I recommend. And you're the only one that can tell the difference whether something's happening like that. And now you've got to step up, because now you know what to do.
Pamela Studley, you can put a question in that you'd like to ask the panel if you're interested. We're just not taking, what are my spirit guides asking me, or what was I in a past life? None of that stuff today. Just stuff about anything about astral, and our panel will try to answer that for you. All right. It was my brother who was here and tried to take me down in life. They said he's from Sirius A, hence a spy.
Okay.
All right. All right. So is there anything else that either one of you want to talk about Ultraborn?
ALDEBARAN?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I have a little show and tell.
Okay.
Because y'all know, when I say I'm a princess, I mean it. I am descendant of the last king of Poland, King Poniatowski. So this is the Scotum Sobieski as Serpis. And it is the little bull, the constellation of the little bull, and ALDEBARAN is right there. And before it went back to being ALDEBARAN, the star is named Augustus Poniatowski, after the last king of Poland. because of all he did to further education and make it so that everybody could go. And we're talking about in the 1700s.
Mhm.
And that you have to realize that Poland was already on a democratic path at that time. But that's not to say it wasn't still a good old boys situation, because, you know, women couldn't vote, and the common man didn't vote. It was up to those who were already having some sort of a power that did the voting. But you did not inherit the throne, and that was one thing to realize. And what my great 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 grandfather had done was abandon aristocracy completely. And he broke this huge country up because of his relationship with the Tsarina. And so it went down in history, and now they're trying to change the name, but it will always be Sobieski to me. Now, one other thing about Aldebaran. Now, it is in Taurus, but what people don't understand is that these constellations are in layers, so they overlap each other. And when we say Taurus, we're looking at it more in a Vedic astrological position, which means if the sun's set in Taurus in Vedic, that's where it is. When we say it's in Taurus, it's actually in Aries, but it's shining through Taurus to hit us. So I do Western astrology, not Vedic. Vedic has 13 signs, which is what changes it. And it is done in a rectangle and not in a circle. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, are there similarities? Of course. Even astronomical charts have overlaps with the zodiac of a Western astrology chart. Mm-hmm. So you got to realize that they're in layers and they're scattered all over, and stars intermingle with each other. So when I do it for Western astrology, Aldebaran is at 9 degrees of Gemini, and Taurus is at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. Gemini is the entry point, but when we look at it as Taurus, it's the spring point, right? Well, Gemini begins at the end of May, the end of spring, right? That month of May, June. Sagittarius is the ending of fall, autumn, going into the winter months. So as the shining light of the new year begins, coming in through Aldebaran at 9 degrees of Gemini, the brilliance, the mind, the mind over matter. Then we have Sagittarius. I'm sorry, Mercury is the body over matter, and Sagittarius is the mind over matter, because he is the higher mind of Gemini. So when we look at this entry point and exit point, we have to realize that this one is the only true axis of the 4 stars. We have Fomalhaut, which is at 2 degrees of Pisces in Western, and at then the other one is Regulus, which is at 0 degrees of Virgo in Western. However, Regulus is in the sign of the lion, and Regulus is designed for the kings and the rulers. And that Fomalhaut is the one that's the loneliest star of all, because he's out there by himself in Pisces. And he is the loneliest star in the galaxy because there's nothing else around him. And when we think of Pisces, he's the bottom. He holds all the weight of the world on his feet. Each sign has a part of the body in which they can have rulership. And Pisces holds everybody else's problems up. So I just thought that would be interesting for everybody to know, because there's so much of these stories that overlap.
Yeah. Wow.
I just want to say these are all Earth indicators to the night sky, when people used to sit around and looked at the star and say, oh, these stars look like a fish or look like a bull or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's where they got those names.
Sure.
But
and a lot of it has to do with the mythologies of the Earth as well.
Right. That's how it started. Now
Yeah.
that's where they got
The
it
Greek
moved. Now
pantheon, the Roman.
when
Yeah.
I'm about to say is that, I'm more familiar with the Arcturians, and the Arcturians see the sky in a different flavor. They see it as a feeling from the frequency of the area. So that's how they navigate. Instead of I'm going to go to Taurus, they know they navigate towards that feeling of that area, and that's how they navigate.
Well, it didn't help. It didn't help that religion got involved and tried to take all that power away. That's how wars were planned and won by
Right.
astrology. That astronomy is the study of the stars that came out of astrology. Astrology came first, and they tried to negate everything. I mean, look at what they've done now to Pluto. Poor Pluto. That guy's still a planet. Don't you believe anything NASA says, especially right now.
If it benefits them, yeah. It's always
There's also like a mini planet inside the asteroid belt. I mean,
it
when
is.
that thing blew up, it didn't all fall to pieces.
Yeah.
And there's a spaceport on that thing now. But as far as I knew, the space Nazi, this is what I call them, had a base there, but they left. They left the space Nazi. So I don't know.
So Pamela wasn't asking about our panel, but she was saying, in the astral realm, can you ask to interact with other beings or try to interact with them? Is that possible, like we do when we ask for our angels and guides? And I'm guessing, is that a possibility?
Absolutely. I call them in every night. I say, okay, you can send me on a mission. I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I can go on. So, and I resort back to this book from 1969, The Chariots of the Gods. Now Vonnegut has updated it to fit the scenario of what we now know as well. But this is the story of how it all comes together. All of these tales that we have about Zoroastrianism and Mesopotamia and the battles that went on there and who Moses really was, and just all of those old tales written so that the people they were speaking to had their own language and understanding. And what they were calling angels were spaceships and the people on them, because they arrived on these chariots of fire. Which, brings me to the ascension of not just Yeshua, but also Enoch and Elijah. They were brothers, or some call them cousins, and they both ascended together. And now they've kicked Elijah out of it, and then they tried to kick Enoch out of it, but King James, the Scots, Robert the Bruce, found 3 documents that had Enoch back in it, and he was able to put it back together. And
I recommend everybody to get a hold of a copy of the Book of Enoch.
All 3 chapters.
I knew there was 2 books. I didn't know there was a third. I'm going to look into it. If you want to know about the fall of the bad guys and all how that, just read that book. So it's very telling. So if you have time.
Well, and it's one of those things you could get on, Kindle or.
Yeah, you can get it on Kindle, and you may even get it for free on the internet if you look hard enough. I mean, a lot of those books are free already because they're in the public domain. Going back to the question about whether you can talk to others. Yeah, I can talk to just about anything and anybody I want to talk to. I don't usually do that because I know that they're busy. But one time Michael came to me and he says, I want you to go to Solaris. That's about 2 years ago. He goes, I want you to go. I was at the time I was very busy doing missions. I was doing sometimes 17 missions a night. And I said, okay, time doesn't exist there. So yeah, I could do this. I looked it up. It's like, I don't know, 120, 130 light years or Solaris. How am I going to get there? How long I get there? And I went there. He goes, I want you to go there for about a month and a half. Okay, so I did. You know, what was happening is, I didn't know at the time, I was going to the flight school there, just a flight school in Solaris.
Uh-huh.
And that's how I learned how to fly the Athena. I flew the Athena.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you can do this if you're in tune and you're able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how unique that was. I have no idea to compare it to anybody. All I can do is tell you what happened to me. So when Michael says go to Solaris, I find a way to get there.
So many people are asking in the chat, will the 3-1 Atlas wake us up? Are they activating frequencies for cosmic POWs? I don't know if you guys have an answer for this. I'm going to open this up for your thoughts.
Well,
I do think so, yes.
Okay.
Because 3i Atlas, as we know, they carry a lot of light language that are currently activating everything that it passes through.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe, yeah, it's activating a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if they are activating like cosmic POWs as well.
Okay. Anybody else?
I absolutely believe that as it comes in contact with each planet, it has sent a signal to upgrade that planet. And this NASA stuff right now, come on, man. All these amateur photographers and astronomers have gotten with their little anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 telescopes and cameras have been able to take better pictures of 3i Atlas than anything NASA put out the other day. I'm having a hard time believing anything that NASA says. And it's not just now. It's been for the past couple of years because there's subterfuge going on. And we know that. And it's a bigger propaganda with them than it is just us figuring it out on our own. Right. So trust your gut. Go investigate. Come to your own conclusions. I believe that because I'm an astrologer, knowing that as it gets close to a planet, we call it a perihelion. And as it gets close to that, there's interaction. There is magnetism between the two. It's an exchange of power and it's an exchange of energy, just like we have between us here on Earth. And of course, this interstellar traveler that has come through 1038, which was up there in the Boots constellation, and then traveled through Boots to get, which is by Virgo, Leo, and then and the handle of the Big Dipper, and then traveled through Virgo to Libra to Scorpio and was in Sagittarius before NASA saw it, before it was identified. So, or before they let us know it was there. And so other people saw it first. What is this guy? What is this thing traveling? Well, it came from way out there. And these are just amateur astronomers that I have found on YouTube. And they're not making it up. And when I put them together with the dreams that I had before information was available to me, and then am able to go and find it to show that there's reality to it. You can do this too. Whatever comes into you, go looking for an answer. Don't do it through AI. Do it through something more organic, because AI, there's a lot of good about it, but there's also, it wants to answer with the information it's been given. So you're giving it a leading question. You're not
AI only knows what it's been taught.
Programmed.
You're not trying to look into anything specific.
You're not trying to be a salesman, so don't give it a leading question. That's how we sell things at Lowe's Lumberyard.
Yeah.
You better
So,
off.
Diane,
You're better off going to the Akashic records. And
Diane,
we have two ladies here who are experts on that.
Edward is asking, is it a man ship talking about 3A Atlas? I don't believe so. I believe 3A Atlas has its own consciousness, so it doesn't need to be manned.
okay. All right. Wonderful.
They're probably coming and going from there.
It's also multidimensional. So I wouldn't doubt if the people you saw, Diana, were in a different dimension than the 3D.
Maybe. Paul, you were going to talk a little bit about the new Earth or the inner Earth. I don't know which one you wanted to do. So let's move into that conversation.
Oh, okay. So all I want to say is that I do feel that something happened in September on there that prompted us to move into 5D, what people call 5D, which is just a level. And what most people see as they call it ascension, they call it, the rapture, whatever you call it, whatever you want. It's just like we went into a different frequency, and I do believe we're in solid 5D right now. We used to pop in and out all the time, skipping 4D, which is the dream world. So we're at the lower level of 5D at the entry level, and I mean a lot of people are having a hard time with that because it's a different way, and the Earth is in there right now. So I don't want to get into how it happened or how we got there, but I do believe so. And what do you ladies think?
I think there has been a significant shift.
It's been a shift, definitely. Well, you could call it the shift, whatever. It's a shift. Something changed in frequency.
Yes.
That got us there.
It's what I keep resorting back to is we already knew we were in this ascending body, that we were being upgraded even before 3i Atlas came into this picture. It's been going on for several years. We are leaving the 3D. We still have to have a toe in the 3D because there are others who are not caught up to us. But it always brings me back to, in our ascension, what we are remembering is that we have 12 strands of DNA. And in that 12 strands, we actually have 24 because there's a double. So we have this helix that twists and turns. Power mongers have tried to keep us trapped in 3G by telling us it's junk DNA. There's no such thing. There's a break, and there is a viral-like, I can't think of all the call letters for it right now, but there's a viral-like thing that happens that causes this break in the DNA. But once you remember it, it reconnects. And when it reconnects, you may have to work at keeping it connected, but realize that's because we still have a toe in 3D. But as we work at keeping it reconnected, we keep ascending on our own helix, on our own Merkaba. We have this spinning inside of us. And that Merkaba is what has us in the higher realm.
I like this red. Kim says, we're at garage level looking at our vehicle in the 3D and wondering if we can drive to the 5D.
Well, we're in the higher parking because we're already in 5D, especially
right.
You, my dear. Kim,
yeah,
you're there.
True. Yeah, that's very true. All right. So you felt different since the beginning of September, Donna Ortiz? Really? What is junk DNA?
What is junk DNA? That's the bits and pieces that are split in half. Okay, there's lots of places out there to get the answers to this. I suggest that the first thing you do is go to Ted Andrews' first book on the Kabbalah. It will help you understand, because within the Kabbalah is a Merkaba, and in that Merkaba is us. And it tells you all these different pathways to speak to other ascendants, whether they be planets or angels and or ascended masters. And in that, this is the spinning of our DNA. All of this starts to work together. We really want to blow your mind, go listen to Edward Robert Grant, because this man is a mathematician extraordinaire. And today, I finally listened to a show he did with Amaret, what's his name, the other day. And what he did was give you the mathematical equation, and everything has an answer in mathematics. Every question you ask has a mathematical answer.
So that's the universal language.
Yes, and
Yeah.
he was able to show through mathematics, what are they calling that thing? The rapture? What the rapture is. And that's just us ascending.
Uh-huh.
You know? I mean, don't be afraid of it as death. We all die.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it isn't necessarily, we're just stepping into these bodies that can't be seen down there in 3D. If my brother's still down there in 3D, well, I'll come and visit you.
Yeah, right. That's interesting. Thank you. Pam says, is there a reason we remember certain things from our astral travels, like in dreaming we remember more emotional things?
Well, that's because you're using a different brain. Over here, we're using this physical brain, and that other brain is different. So,
well, because the other brain's the third eye, the medulla, and the crown chakra, and it's all connected to the heart and your higher throat, and you know, it's all those chakras above as well as the ones below. And and is zero chakra the most important? The one that holds our feet and the earth? You know, where we're standing on the earth, and that zero is the space in between.
Yep.
And also, since emotions are energy, so whenever we feel emotions, some of them get imprinted in our energy body, and we process them, so we can let go of them. But some of them are so big, so impactful for us, that we don't get to process them immediately. So the imprint stays in our energy body. I believe that's why we remember certain things a lot more.
Wonderful. So Gary wonders, what message have you received for Earth? Either, any of you. Yeah.
well, I just before this show, I talked to Gaia, and I asked her if it's true that she's training another being to take over in the future for when she decides to retire, because she is going to retire. She's not going to be Gaia forever. So, and it's a water being. I don't know her name. She did say that it's true. And I said, what are you going to do right after this happens? And she goes, oh, I'm just going to keep going with my journey. I said, oh, you can hang out at the nature reserve in my ship if you want. She's been there a bunch of times, and that I know of at least 2 times, and she likes it there. So that's what she said. So as far as the Earth is concerned, no, the Earth is going to continue. It's not going to end, and it's going to expand, because it's a water being. And water, the element water it's emotional, right, Diana?
Yeah.
It's the emotional part, and the emotional part goes with 5D. Period. That's because 5D, if you want something to happen, you just think of it, and it happens.
Because time is not linear. Space is not linear. It is an orb. And it's the time-space continuum that gets us to anything and anywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Diane,
We were.
you're quiet.
I haven't been getting messages for Earth specifically, but sometimes I get messages for humanity. Like yesterday, I got a message from Master Yeshua, but it's not like for Earth itself, it's for humans. And it's about manifestation and creating, like he's encouraging people to create more. Yeah.
I love that. And yes, there we were sold a bill of goods almost like we were sold Santa Claus when we were kiddos, that everything is linear, that the past is already gone, that the present, of course, is now, and that the future is to be. But really, all of those things are happening simultaneously. And we don't get it, but we just, in order to live in 3D, we had to set up this construct that would get us to work on time or get us here and there and how we needed to be and where we needed to go and all those other things in order to live in that particular thing. But I would think that in 5D, it's all happening at once. It's that, like you say, that time-space continuum, not linear, but totally all one time.
What was that show, Quantum Leap? You know, think about how he, that's basically what we all have the power to do.
Yeah. They say you can go back in your mind, at least to your past, and change it. And it's all about how you change your understanding of it and how you change your reaction to it and how you change some of the other things that happen. And that sounds impossible. It doesn't seem like it's something that, we would have grown up believing in, unfortunately. Right. Yeah.
Not able to handle it with the way they have set things up, for sure.
True. That's true.
Yeah, things don't move in a line. I mean, that's the big lie. Things move in a spiral. Spirals have everything moves, so it's not a line.
Even the DNA, it's a spiraling ribbon.
That's right.
And they're not all the same, even throughout your body. It doesn't have a set coil. It can be tightly wound and loosely wound, like curls in your hair, or on a bad day.
And think about, I don't know if you thought about this, Diana, but it's also an antenna.
Yes. Oh, the Native Americans,
an antenna.
your hair was an antenna since all of their tails. That's why they don't cut their hair. It's their antennas.
Right.
Well, I got a ponytail.
There you go.
So Leah wants to know what's up with the light body.
I don't understand the question.
Are you?
What is the light body? Is that what it means? What Leah means?
I think light body is one of your bodies. I mean, you're a construct of different layers, and it's all a frequency. And the light body is just one of them. Now, it's in the Buddhist tradition. In Tibet, they meditate, and some of these people, when the end of life, they just go into their rainbow body. They call it the rainbow body, where everything is like rainbow color, and they poof disappear. All that's left is hair and nails and whatever. And I have seen my light body. And one time I saw it 4 or 5 years ago. I looked at my arm, and it's transparent, and there were like light colored swirls moving all over the place. So and I never seen that again, just once. And I go, whoa, that's weird.
The light body is frequency, and the sound body is vibration. But you cannot have one without the other, which brings us back to Metatron and Sandalphon, who were Enoch and Elijah.
For me, the
Enoch
light
became
body
Metatron, and Elijah became Sandalphon.
So I just wanted to say, like, for me, the light body is, I agree with Paul. It's one of the bodies that we have. We have layers of our body. Whenever we go to do like grid work and stay in the 4D realm, we use our astral body when we do that. So when we go through to higher dimensions, our body gets very heavy for us. So we kind of take off other layers. And whenever we go on missions, I believe that's what we take. Our light body is what we take with us.
So
And there's also a level, I think it's above, but mid 6D, where it's like a closet. I think of it as a closet, and in the closet it's all these garments hanging, and those are all the bodies that you've ever worn. And I had access to that one time, and I put on my Arcturian body, and I was an Arcturian. But that's something that happened on board my ship, and it's kind of a strange experience where you can access that. Let's say if you've been a Lyran, you can put her on Lyran body. And Dr. Gail says that she went to visit a water planet with whale, and she put her on a whale body. You know, that's what she talks about, and I said, I knew that until it happened to me, and then I go, oh, that's how. But that's basically where that happens. So, you know, it happens. Everybody has access to that. You just got to believe you do and get there and do it.
Yeah. So are the light codes the same as the light language?
I would say yes, because I work with coding a lot, and yeah, I would say yes.
And light language comes in many forms. Sometimes we see them as picture or color. Sometimes we hear them as sounds or as language that are spoken by other star beings. We can also smell them. Some of us use sense of smell to receive light codes. So it comes in different forms.
Right. Even English is a form of light
Yes.
language.
Yes.
Light language of the stars sounds foreign to us. But Spanish can sound foreign to us. French, Portuguese, whoo.
Yeah, that's true. And that's why it sounds familiar. If, for instance, if JJ is doing her light language and she's on Tuta Speaks, she's got a combination of Native American and just different kinds of things. Yeah.
I even hear Polish phrases in.
Sure, I bet you do. Yeah, yeah. She has a lot of different things that come out of what they say. So yeah. How do emotions change either being if you're an ET or a hybrid? Anybody know?
Speaking from an energy perspective, like emotions are energy. So when we were aliens and we had experiences, I think there weren't any differences. Like we still had experienced those emotions, and in fact, we still carry some of the emotional trauma from previous lifetimes we had as ETs or hybrids. So for me, there aren't any differences whether we were ETs or hybrids, because all of that is reflected in our energy body, and we have the same energy body in all of our incarnations.
Okay. Yeah. Wow.
Well, emotions are part of the human experience. I mean, us humans are very. When you're here with a human body, even if it's a hybrid, all of us are hybrid here. We look human, but we're part of something else.
Combination. Yeah.
So it's a emotions is part of it, and a lot of times the ETs don't have access to that set of emotions that we do. So they want to experience that too.
Sure.
So that's how I see it, anyways.
So Kim asks, will there be another Gaia after she leaves? For some reason, I feel it's possible. And I don't know if Paul answered that by saying that Gaia isn't going to leave. It's just going to turn more watery. Is that what you
No. It's she is going to move on, but she's training. Right. She's training a water being.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know her name. I wish I did. I don't know, but I guess she's still in training. And she did tell me that. I mean, I'm not going to say that that's what I think. This is what she said.
Okay.
Well, if we look at the eras of creation, yeah, I mean, she has been different things at different times. She has already been a water being. Then she was a fire being. She became a water being. She was an ice being. First the ice, then the fire, then the water, and now the earth. she's going to go through this cycle again. Let's think of Kronos, Father Time, the planet Saturn. And it is as cyclical as all of life is, whether we measure it in our 12-month cycle of Earth or the greater cycle of the broader universe, which has a different time space continuum band than us here. We categorize it in inches to miles and metric system, and pretty much in the same measurement. Up there, it's totally different. It's an arc because it's a circle, because it's a globe.
Yeah, I have to measure that against my experience with the Arcturians. The Arcturians are more into like organic stuff. You can have a ship that's Arcturian, is organic, and it has a being. Who is the ship? That's space. And the planet is no different. I mean, it is a being who inhabits the planet, and we call her Gaia. So, and then she has an evolution too. We don't know how. I mean, it's taken a lot longer than we think. I mean, I have to go by what she said. Yeah, she's going to move on, but she hasn't yet.
All right. And Patricia, you said that you heard that it was taking its time to ascend, and you can come along or not. And I believe in that, because it's the same way with moving from 3D to 5D. If you want to, you can. If you don't want to, then you're not going to. I'm assuming. So Peace has 8 dolphins with her, and they are protectors. Are they also protectors for Atlantis or Lemuria? Are they her protectors? I'm there too, they said. I have a piece of a circle in the clouds. So I don't know if you can answer that question or not. About the dolphins. Are they definitely Lemurian or Atlantean because they're water beings?
I think they're more connected with Lemuria. I haven't seen them in Atlantis, but I know that they're teachers in Lemurian culture.
Okay. Yeah, Lemuria was Lemuria in the land of Mu, Mu. They were more spiritual, and as far as I understand, they also did not need technology or machines to do whatever needed to be done. They could do it with their minds, as opposed to the Atlanteans. The Atlanteans were more into technology kind of things.
Okay. Well, Kendra wonders, are our 3D mundane constructs going to change for everyone?
Yes. Not all at the same rate, because look, we hold space now. We are all light workers. If you're in this chat, you're interested in this because you are doing this. Can you imagine what it would be like if we weren't doing this as hard as this is? And we're at the end of that 25,000 year cycle, the end of the Kali Yuga, the end of the boom, 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 and going into a more peaceable kingdom.
That's going to happen. I mean, we're already, I think we're almost there.
It's beginning to feel that way, Paul. It is beginning to feel that way.
I mean, recently it's been very strange for me that it's all of a sudden it's so quiet, it's so peaceful, and it's like, I mean, and it's not from what you see happening and on the government and all the stuff that's happening here on Earth. It's different. It's different. It's an internal thing.
I see. I'm not feeling that, and I've been working at it, but I'm feeling more in turmoil with my own body, and maybe that is the ascension, because there's some sort of resistance or something else. I'm not sure, but I don't like the manifestations of the solar flares and the other things that have been encumbering me here in this 3D area. So I don't know.
You're definitely acclimating to it.
Yeah. Okay.
And some people it's going to be rougher than others. I mean, with me, with me, it's been kind of rough. I mean, as far as I've, you know,
Hmm.
because of what I do, and it's really it's too peaceful. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that has to go, and right now it's like okay,
It
to
feels like a lull, doesn't it?
a,
It's the same for
I
me.
have had more time to read, so maybe I should take that as an omen that things are better. I'm finding space for something new. Yeah,
There you go. See?
yeah, yeah, maybe.
And gosh, can you believe it? You're at the end of a semester already.
2 more weeks. Yeah,
Hmm.
thank God.
and then you enroll in the next
And
course.
that's going to help too.
Sure.
That's a trap. We know that,
Yeah.
right? As
The rat
teacher,
race.
as a retired teacher, I know that that's a trap.
Yeah.
And definitely because you're working with the older student who should know better.
All I know is that I've been pissed off, and I've put myself up for a huge kidney stone just by being that way. So, live and
Well,
learn, everybody. Live and learn. Don't be pissed
That's
off.
what
You
happened.
know, pissed off
You
is
did,
not necessarily a bad thing, though.
right?
Because
You got
that
the
gets your
kidney
juices
stone.
going, and it gets you off your butt and doing stuff that you know that needs to be doing.
At least you didn't get pissed on.
That's true.
No.
That's very true. Yes, yes. Gary wonders, are extraterrestrials working with the government? I think they have for a long time, Gary.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
Eisenhower, for sure.
The bad ones. I mean, the good ones already presented their case and they got turned down, as far as I
Yeah.
know. And the bad ones are the ones that were making deals with them, and they were related to the Dracs, and the Dracs are no longer here. So now, what's going to happen? I don't know.
Well, it's come out to the rest of us with Eisenhower. But believe me, it started before Eisenhower.
Oh yeah, Truman had it. Truman was the one that started it, or maybe somebody else before that I know of, but Truman definitely knew.
Our founding fathers, they were all Masons. Don't think Masons aren't connected. They're all astrologers to begin with.
That reminds me. Look up George Washington's vision.
Yeah.
Write it down. If you haven't read that, it's kind of like a folklore story that got passed down, and some of it has changed, but it's basically the same. Where some lady who was glowing white came up to him in the lowest time when he was crossing that river that was all frozen and almost died and everything. And then she gave him the vision of the United States.
Yep.
Read it. Look it up. Write it down and look it up. You have a chance.
And
It's
who would that be?
Washington's vision.
That white lady would be Mary, Mother Mary, or White Buffalo Calf Woman.
Yeah. Yeah, would it be?
I think White Buffalo woman. It's an ascendant master lady,
Probably.
or very high level.
Honey, but she can be anyone she wants to be. She is an ascended matter. She appears to anybody in something that they are going to recognize. Now, George Washington certainly was connected with Native Americans because he surveyed all of that Virginia area, and he would have heard the story of the White Buffalo Calf Woman already many times over.
Which I should probably mention that it's got nothing to do with astral journeys, but Ken Burns has his PBS show of the Revolutionary War. And it is fabulous. I've seen some of it, and it's really worth a listen. Or it's I think he's on the second or the third episode right now. And Peter Coyote is speaking, which I love Peter Coyote. And there are others in there, you'll recognize their voices, but just something to think about if you're thinking back to the founding fathers. Which
is that just a podcast, or can we get it on?
No, you can get it on the PBS app if you want.
Okay, cool.
It's a documentary.
I still pay for PBS.
Okay, so I want to give Diane G some time if she has anything else to say, because we are almost at the top of the hour. Diane.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Although
You are.
I want to answer one question
Okay.
from Gary for Grace.
Okay.
They're asking, Elon gets tech from them. Is this true? I don't believe so, but I do believe that Elon has had like past lifetimes where he incarnated in more technologically advanced civilizations, and so he's bringing that knowledge that he had from those star systems to Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's connected too much on
Okay.
this. Yeah, but that's just me.
No, that's all right. That's all
Mhm.
right. Yeah. So, as I said in the very beginning of the show, that this is our last show until the first of the year. Diana and I have some surgery we have to go through, and of course, the holidays and all that other stuff. So, we will be back at the first of the year to do this again. And we want to wish everybody a wonderful holiday season coming up. And I want to thank Paul, White Dragon, and Diana Bowles and Diane G for all their gifts and information that they share so willingly on the show. And I want to thank all of you, especially our wonderful moderators and those of you who asked the questions. And thank you for being with her, spending your time with the four of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye. Happy
We'll
holidays.
see you
Bye-bye.
again soon. Bye-bye.